Welcome to the Line Change. In this video, we're going to be going over an article that I will link in the description down below that I happened to come across. It was posted yesterday by Heavy Sports. Appears to be a Detroit Red Wings website or news source, but it talks about an interesting trade pitch that sees the Red Wings acquiring $25 million goalie in offseason. Now, I get what you guys must be thinking. The Red Wings, what does this have to do with the Canucks? This is a Canucks podcast. Well, it does in fact involve the Vancouver Canucks, as they would be the team that would be trading said $25 million goalie in the offseason, potentially. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article. It starts off by saying the Detroit Red Wings don't have a clear-cut number one goaltender, and that could be something Detroit looks like to acquire in the offseason. The website Puckpedia's Puck GM tool lets users create their own trades. One user proposed a deal that would see the Red Wings acquiring Thatcher Demko in a 3-player blockbuster with the Vancouver Canucks, which could happen in the offseason. It says here, Red Wings acquire Thatcher Demko, Philip Hedl. The Canucks would acquire Michael Rasmussen and a 2027 third-round pick. The proposed deal does make sense for both teams, as Detroit gets a star goalie and an NHL forward. Vancouver, meanwhile, gets a young NHL forward and a draft pick, but more importantly, gets off of Demko's salary. Demko is in the fourth year of his 5-year, $25 million deal, so Detroit would only have him for one season. Demko has dealt with injuries this season, but when he is healthy, he is a bona fide number one goalie. The American is a 2-time All-Star and has gone 6-6-3 with a 2.87 goals against average and a .891 save percentage this season. The Red Wings would also acquire Hedl, who has 2 years left on his deal after this season. The former first-round pick could be a middle six for Detroit. Hedl has recorded 13 goals and 13 assists for 26 points in 56 games. In return, Detroit would trade a third-round draft pick as well as Rasmussen. Rasmussen is a cheaper replacement for Hedl. He's in the first year of a 4-year, $12.8 million deal. Rasmussen has recorded 10 goals and 7 assists for 17 points in 63 games. This article goes on to say Detroit doesn't have a clear-cut number one goalie, but does have 2 highly regarded prospects in Sebastian Cossa and Trey Augustine coming up. However, the prospects are both a year or two at least away, so the Red Wings need a stopgap, and Demko can be that. Detroit does have Peter Mrazek and Cam Talbot under contract for next season, but both are better backups, and either could be moved for Demko to come in and be the starter. The Red Wings did go out and trade for Mrazek at the deadline, but Detroit general manager Steve Yzerman says Mrazek having another year on his deal was attractive, as there aren't many goalies available this summer. It goes on to quote Yzerman, "It's a strange time in the NHL for goaltenders. The people that played with and were here in the organization when Peter was here early in his career really support him, the person, and his competitiveness. It's up and down around the league. We look at goals against average and save percentage of the goaltenders, and it's a bit all over the place. One thing that was also attractive to us is he's signed for another season, and the goalie market right now, looking into the summer, what goalies are signing for, the term, and the dollar amounts for what our options were today and what our options might be in the offseason. We thought it was good insurance for us." Goes on to say the top goalie available in free agency is likely Frederik Andersen of the Carolina Hurricanes. And then it goes on to talk about the Canucks and their belief that they can keep Demko. It says here, due to Demko's injuries this season, Vancouver started Kevin Lankinen, who played well and was rewarded with a new contract. Although the Canucks are paying Lankinen as a starter, Vancouver GM Patrick Allvin believes they have the cap room to keep both goalies next season. And then there's a quote from Allvin. "I do think there's room. Again, I have a lot of respect for Thatcher, and he's got another year on his contract. And I believe if you look around the league and see what teams are allocating to goalies, I still think there's a good chance for us to keep both of them." And then the article finishes with saying the Canucks are 32, 25, and 12 and outside of the playoffs. Obviously, we need to update the record as the Canucks are now, in fact, 32, 26, and 12 after losing to the Rangers earlier today, and they're still outside of the playoffs. So what do you guys think of this article talking about a potential blockbuster trade and the Canucks trading Demko to the Red Wings and moving off of his salary and acquiring a player like Michael Rasmussen, and then also flipping Philip Hedl as well? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this interesting trade pitch. I know it appears to be a fan driven trade pitch. Personally, I don't know if the Canucks do this deal. As we just mentioned in that quote with Patrick Allvin, he's made it known that they want to try and keep both Demko and Lankinen going into next season. It also makes you wonder why the Red Wings would want someone like Demko, considering his injury history. And is Demko worth, a young forward like Michael Rasmussen and a third-round pick? Is that a little bit of a underpay when it comes to Demko, despite his injuries? Is he worth something more than a third-round pick or someone like Rasmussen? Obviously, you're not going to get a big haul for Demko because of his injury history. That really diminishes his value. But I still thought this was a interesting trade pitch for the offseason. Once again, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this potential blockbuster deal that the Canucks could do involving them and the Red Wings. And is there any other teams that you'd like to see Demko be traded to? And would you even like to see the Canucks move off of his contract and free up that cap space? If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to The Line Change, go ahead and subscribe. You really help out the channel. And also, you stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content on this channel as well. Interact with us on social media. You can find us on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as TikTok. All the links for our social media outlets are in the description down below, as will the link to this article, as I mentioned at the top of this video. I'll make sure to put that in there. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.